They tried to stop my shine, but I said, hold up. Y'all know how many hoes done tried to hold this hoe up?
Tokyo
Talk
boy.
the music. They asked how was my week? Bitch got no sleep. Heard some bad news, still ain't gonna lose. Rules ain't the same when blackness you claim. But I'm gonna fight, it's my right, it's my right. Say it's my right, it's my right. Say I'm still gonna fight. It's my right, it's my right. It's my right, it's your right. What's up, y'all? What's up? What's up? What's up? Obviously, I'm feeling a little type of way today, but I just wanted to let y'all know, I always keep it real with y'all. But first of all, let me back it up and just say hello. Hello, everybody, and how are you this week? Welcome to Craig's Pop Life, a black gay excursion into pop culture. I'm your host, Craig Seymour. You know me. I've been writing about pop culture for more than 20 years. You can catch up on all my shit at randbeing.com. I am also the author of 4 books. The biography, Luther, The Life and Longing of Luther Vandross. So if y'all are missing Luther or feel like Luther's not represented in the culture and he's not getting his due, please check out my book and get your Luther on. Then there's my memoir about being a grad school stripper hoe, and that's all I could bear, my life in the strip clubs of gay Washington, D.C. And then there's my novel about 3 generations of black gay men looking for love. And, not just looking for love, but like just asking, like, at different points in your life, you ask, like, what the fuck is love? What is love to me now? What is love in my 20s? Well, what is love in my 30s? Well, god damn, I'm in my 50s now. What the fuck is love now? Do I want it? Do I need it? How's it gonna be? What do I want it to be? That's the kind of shit I deal with my novel, Who's Your Daddy? And I know y'all are getting ready. I know y'all are planning your trips. I know y'all planning your Memorial Day trips. I know y'all getting your Black Pride reads together. So please check me out. All my books are available in your print and in your digital audiobook. So please support an independent black brother and check them out. Buy them for a friend. Buy them for somebody you don't even know that well. I gotta eat, y'all. I gotta eat. So I appreciate everything. And I also have a new book coming out called Special, a critical meditation on the life and artistry of Janet Jackson. So that's what it is this week. So let's jump right in. If you're wondering why seems like I might be feeling a type of way, yeah, I may be feeling a type of way. We always feel a type of way. Creative people, sometimes you feel a type of way. Sometimes don't go the type of way you want it, and then you feel a type of way. Do you know what I'm saying? But and people have asked me why I start my podcast with that intro, and this is why. Because every time I launch something as a black person, as a black man, as a black gay man, somebody got some shit to say about why I can't do it. Well, guess what, bitch? I did it. Okay. So they said I couldn't be a writer, but I did it, bitch. They said I couldn't be an author. I did it, bitch, numerous times. And then when my wild ass said I wanted to do a podcast, people were like, hey, can't nobody understand what you're talking about half the time anyway. So how you gonna do a podcast? Ain't nobody gonna know what you're talking about? Child. But I did it. So, and I'm doing it. And I appreciate all y'all are here listening to my crazy ass. That means a lot to me. And I like I said, I'm iTunes official now. So what you got to say? I have people in Qatar listening to me. People in Qatar listening to my shit. Now, granted, it's only less than 1% of my entire audience, but shit, it's something, and y'all in Qatar, step your game up. Share the podcast a little more. Get your numbers up. You keep it down the fandom. So, but thank y'all to all my listeners in Qatar and around the world. I appreciate ya. But enough about me and what I'm going through. I share these things not to just be wilding all out here, just trying to woe is me, because it's not woe is me. It's just as a black creative, we have challenges, and it just is what it is. And sometimes you think about it more than others, and sometimes you can put it out your mind easier than others, and sometimes you can't. But I share it this time for 2 reasons. First, I just want y'all to know. I just want y'all to know that no matter what you see out there about me, like how much I'm producing or something, you're like, damn, Craig don't seem to be out that much. Where's Craig's next book? He's done supposed to been finished that Janet book. What the fuck is up with that? All that kind of stuff. I just want y'all to know that there is a behind the scenes story that that y'all will never know about, and most of which I can't talk about. Business stuff, blah 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 blah. But I just don't want anybody to ever think that I'm not out here fighting every day, all day to tell our stories, to tell the stories, our stories, the stories we want to hear. Not the green book stories, but the stories we want to hear about the people that we want to hear about. So, I just, maybe people, sometimes you just sit here, your room podcast and you don't know what people be thinking. But like, I just want y'all to really know that I'm out here fighting. And whether that means something to you or not, whatever, but just know that for everything you get from me, there are probably 50, 11 things that I've been trying to do, but just have not been able to do yet, just because of the way that the industry values Black art and values the Black audience, and them not always able to make the connection between um, understanding what they think Black people are going to like, even though they ain't Black. Not black certainly, but and what the audience is gonna go to. So whatever, it's a fight. It's my challenge. It's what I'm signed up for. It's no complaining. It's just sharing with you the experience of what it is. And number two, I'm sharing this experience because please, y'all, please, 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 just do your motherfucking thing. Do your 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 thing. Your parents may not support your thing. Your friends, how many of us had one? Your friends might not support your thing. And believe me, the deeper I get in this game, the more I be on that Jody Wiley friend shit. But you will understand. Oprah done told me before. Oprah, I heard on an Oprah show, but like, people are very comfortable with you at different levels. So people are always comfortable with when you're starting because you ain't a threat. So what the fuck, but whatever. But then once you start coming up and you start to get the same level as them, then maybe you get that little competition coming in. People be saying little sideways stuff, and you'd be like, "Is that a diss? Is that a read?" But you hope for the best, and you long-term relationship with people, and you hope people are on the up and up and up and up. So you might let it slide, like Luther Vandross. I let you slide tonight. And then people become very uncomfortable when you are like right above them, when you like maybe have accomplished something that's like right what they want to accomplish. You've gone right to the place they're gonna go. Oh, that's when the all hell breaks loose. That's when people be showing their faces. That's when people be acting brand new. That's when you just don't, your whole life reconfigures and rearranged, and people act like you just didn't know, couldn't imagine people acting like the way they acting, but that's the way they be acting. And you just have to be prepared for that. And then you get to the place, you get to like the Oprah like level, whereas you've got transcended so far, then people just become idolizing you, and then oh, I've loved you, I've always supported you. Bitch, I know what you said. Bitch, I know where you were. Bitch, I know when I asked you to share that thing on social. Bitch, what? Like, I know. Don't like, come on, don't act, Brian. We can reconcile and everything, and it's all good. And it's all good because I have money in my pocket, so I ain't hate nobody. But don't pretend that you was there for every step of the way, because like, if the steps of the way was from like the first floor to the sixth floor, I didn't seen your ass from 4 to 5. Okay, what I'm saying, your ass skipped all the way from being kind of supportive on floor 2, and then you ain't even take the steps. You just took the elevator all the way up to the penthouse party, celebrating my whatever. And go ahead, drink my free drinks. Eat my free cheese. Maybe if I'm even like that, eat you a free piece of fresh sushi. But don't pretend that I don't know what it is, because I know what it is. And that's all, just putting that out there, to say, because my spirit was a little bit off this week. I'm not gonna lie. I am not going to lie. A couple of nights ago, I had me a big glass, or maybe a bottle of, y'all ever drink that? Now I know this is hood as shit, and this is gonna make me sound ghetto as fuck, but y'all ever drink that grape popsicle wine? See, I am not a wine person. No, wine is never sweet enough for me, something like that. I'm one of those tacky people. But somebody, if like, I won't drink wine just on the regular. I want me a drink. Something with some. I want something to stick. I want like a rosemary sprig. I want something with a lemon slice. I want a drink. I want a production. Just because you pour me some red shit in it or some white shit in a glass, that's not a production to me. I need a production. But in those cases that I do be forced because some people be trying to be so fan. Oh, it's wine and cheese. It's wine and cheese. Wine. Okay, let me drink your goddamn wine. Child, I will always sneak over to some kind of table and find me some good Splendors and mix a good 3, 4, 5, 6 Splendors in that thing, tricked around. That's the only time I can drink it. So I found me some great popsicle wine, child, and that got me through the night. And that was, that's when I think some people might have seen me tweeting some stuff just about. I mean, no deep stuff. I wasn't doing nothing, just basically just expressing my frustration. So I just want to thank everybody that was I've lost my notes, y'all. I'm not even gonna try to lie. I'm looking through my notes saying what the fuck I'm talking about because I cannot find it. But anyway, I just want to thank everybody that shouted me out that night when obviously I needed a little something. And people, people talk about internet people. Everybody's nasty, everybody, but a lot of people were there that night just tell me to keep going, which I applied both to keep going in my work and keep pouring that drink. But regardless of the fact, it got me through, and I thank you very, very much for that. So, what we got this week? We got a lot of stuff this week. We finally got to see Janet be inducted into the Hall of Fame. It's one of those things Black people we had to do. We had to be like, oh, thank God we're so happy. But like, what the fuck took y'all so long? So it's always this kind of mixed feeling. And then I'm going to get into the Billboard Music Awards a little bit. Um, but let's just start with Janet and the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame induction ceremony. In a way, I really like the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame whole situation because it does put the focus on the artistry rather than the celebrity. But the problem is the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame's idea of artistry is basically a white man. So, that's problematic. But at least this year, the show kicked off with the good old Stevie Nicks. And I've always loved Stevie Nicks. I've been a Stevie Nicks fan from way back. She's one of my favorite vocalists. And it's a cliche just to call somebody soulful. Oh, she's soulful, she's soulful, she's soulful. As a critic, I always try to stop myself from just saying that and really trying to figure out what I mean when I'm calling a specific vocalist soulful. And for me, with Stevie, it's the way that she opens her voice up to the emotion. Okay, where the singer isn't just performing the lyrics, but they're telling us through their choices, through the moments that they release the voice or hold back, exactly what the lyrics mean to them. And that is what I hear when I hear Stevie Nicks. And I don't know how many of y'all are old enough to remember this, but I don't know how long old enough to remember the Judy Blume Forever, not just the book, because we was all reading the books, underlined in the books. Sometimes somebody pass you a good Judy Blume, but whole damn thing being yellow, be showing up and how am I supposed to read this in the dark and the whole thing's highlighted? It's gonna be glowing. How am I supposed to read this shit under the pillow? But anyway, the Judy Blume Forever and the film though is what also was the thing back in the day. The film of Judy Blume Forever. Learned about that good old juicy, juicy teenage love, bitch, with the sex and the shit. And, I was a preteen, so I was trying to figure out the sex, trying to figure out what it all meant. And I remember in the movie they played "Dreams" by Fleetwood Mac, and it was just one of those moments like I didn't know what the shit meant. Um, I mean, maybe a little bit because like I remember that one line, now here you go again. You say you want your freedom. And that struck me at a particular time in my life because that was around the time that my parents had recently told me that they were getting divorced, in that matter of fact kind of 70s way, with that whole like, oh, this is the best for all of us. We're still going to see each other. You're mature enough to understand the whole 70s divorce script, which I know a lot of my friends know by heart. I mean, whoever wrote that script, I wish I could kill that nigga because that fucked a lot of us up. But that was the 70s script. That's what we got. So that whole thing about wanting your freedom, I felt that. And but just listening to what she was saying without fully understanding it, I knew without a doubt that one day I would experience everything that she was singing about. Not necessarily the words, but for some reason I just had the sense I would know those emotions and be intimate with every nuance of the way she sounded. And of course, as you live through life, as I've lived through life, yes, shit, I understand everything from the moment the music comes on. I've been there. Yes, child. Um, and, in a way, hearing her sing that was almost like a loss of virginity, a musical virginity in a way, because it expanded to me the sound of adult emotions. Like I heard that and I was like, okay, this is what adult emotion sounds like. Now, for me at the time, my idea of adult was probably somebody like 21, you know, but it really opened me up to that. So, needless to say, as you do when anybody, you know, you lose your virginity to, you remember them. So I've always been a Stevie Nicks fan. And I remember when she dropped Stand Back a couple years later, Stand Back, and that blew my whole entire shit up. Because you have to travel back with me to the year is 1983. And the thing about it was, music was in a very transitional period. There were still like rock bands that are just playing the traditional instruments and doing what they're doing, and there was still like a lot of the R&B bands and everything. Because this was early '80s, so there were still bands that existed. The record industry hadn't pulled the lead singer apart from every damn band, but prominent synthesizers on a song weren't just like a regular thing. There was still a lot of, like I said, the basic rock and everything, but you would hear the synthesizers, the heavy synthesizer, like especially with Prince and with the new wave bands that I loved at the time, like Thompson Twins and the Human League. And those just weren't sounds that you always heard on pop records. Excuse me, I'll take a drink from my Red Bull. So there was something kind of that linked synthesizers to a soul, since Prince was really kind of building that path. And a lot of the British bands that were using synthesizers, the Spandau Ballets and all the people like that, the culture clubs, culture clubs didn't really use that many synthesizers, but you get my point. I mean, in that kind of way, in the synth pop kind of way. I wouldn't call culture club synth pop. But the point is, there was something kind of soulful about it. There was something at that particular time in music that synthesizers seemed to kind of make a record seem blacker. Like I remember Donnie Simpson, and this is pre-Video Soul. This was when he was on WKYS, and I would listen to him every morning going to school in my hometown of DC. And I mean, he would play those records. He would play Stand Back. He would play a record like Van Halen's Jump, because they were all in that synthesizer heavy category that at the time read very black. And child, even I tried to get on it. I begged my mama for a little synthesizer, and all I ever got to play is all I ever learned to play is after one lesson. Because my mother made me try it. She let me try anything, but after a couple good single mom payments, if I wasn't doing it, looked like I was going nowhere with it, the shit got cut off. So all I know how to play on the synthesizer is the synthesized bass line to Ain't Nobody. So you put a keyboard in front of me anywhere, anytime, any play, I can do that. Do 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 capture effort. That's the way it was. So anyway, I don't know what that talent's ever gonna get me, but you never know. As you go through life, you gather talents, different things. You never know when they're gonna come in handy. So, and then the Stevie's vocals are so. Back to the track of the Stand Back Dial. I just don't want to let that to go passing without knowing that Prince is the one playing the synthesizers on Stand Back. And of course, when I later found that out much years later, that of course it all made sense. But anyway, Stevie's vocals on that song are so soulful. And in the soulful, what I mean here is just it's the gritty delivery, but it's also the way that she sings just slightly behind the beat. It's that thing Mary does, it's that thing Patty does, it's that thing Betty Wright does, where it's not right on it's like it creates a tension because she's singing right behind the beat. So I was very happy when she sang that during the introduction. And did y'all see Janet, Miss Janet stand up and everybody else was clapping on the 2 and the 4. Everybody else was like, stand back, stand back. And Janet was doing the soul clap. Janet was stand back, stand back. I said, go ahead, Janet, with your gloves, with your soul clapping gloves. So I really like that moment. I wish it would be memed. Anybody can send that to me. You know where to find me. Um, and then I really loved when Stevie shouted out to Prince at the end of her performance with the "When Doves Cry" thing. I thought that that was a really nice moment. And I didn't really know that much about Stevie Nicks. Like, I don't even know how much in life I've ever seen her talk or paid attention or anything like that. But I thought she came across as really genuine, and I liked her. I really liked her a lot. So shout out to Stevie Nicks. And now moving along to Janet. And thank God I didn't have to wait till through too many damn people to see Janet come up on the show. Now I had seen Janet's speech before, thanks to all my good Jan fan people and their IG feeds, so there was nothing new there when I watched her. But there were a couple of things that Janelle Monae said that really touched me and kind of I felt helped the critical appraisement of Janet isn't quite right. It hasn't quite gotten right yet, and that's what some I'm trying to do in the book. And I thought that Janelle Monáe made a lot of strides toward that in her comments because one thing she said is that she said Janet became the blueprint for writing socially conscious jams, and that really just hit it on the head because you have to understand the context of when Janet was making this records. When Janet was making these records, Janet had these huge deals with A&M, with Virgins, with that had shareholders and what have. Janet had to sell units, y'all. Janet had to be on the pop charts, y'all. That was what she had to do. That was her job. So for the fact of her being able to create something where she could raise issues about, prejudice, no, and all that kind of stuff, where she can talk about a world sick with racism. That was revolutionary because every time she did something like that, she potentially sacrificed her audience. And every time she did something like that, all the white record companies people were, "Ooh, oh Lord, I don't know, it's the fourth quarter, we need those sales." So that's why it really irritates me to the last when people compare Janet to Beyonce, because Beyonce was able to take what Janet did, creating these socially conscious jams, giving us the formations and the whatnot, because of what Janet did. And Beyonce is now in a new era. Beyonce is now in an era where she had already established herself firmly in the pop lane because that lane had been opened up by people like Janet, and then she became in a position where she could do whatever the fuck she wanted, and she knew that we would be there in mass. That is why she's able to, do go take it so far and everything, and that's why she's able to do the Coachella shit and all of that kind of stuff, and just to be blackety black and black as she wants to be black. Janet was not in that position when she in her um I don't want to say heyday because that's making it like she's past her day. But in the prime when she was, making them top 10 hits and all that kind of stuff, that was just not a possibility. So just be grown, just accept that, just don't compare the two, but understand Janet's role in what Beyonce has done, and let's be grateful for that, and let's honor these women for creating this path of social consciousness within pop music. Let's just celebrate that. Let's just celebrate the continuum. Let's not try to compare the two. And child, y'all got me all off my notes. See, I'm too emotional tonight or something like that. But another thing that Janelle said that really struck with me was when she described Janet's work as every album a risk, every moment a revelation. And that is so true. And the her specific wording was so accurate and on point with that because first of all, you can clearly see how Beyonce has taken that. You can clearly see how Beyonce takes risks with every single album and every moment a revelation. That's so much different than if you think about like what people talk about with Madonna, because with Madonna it's about reinvention. But see, there's a lot, and this is not to diss Madonna, even though I'm kind of going to diss something she did later. But this is not to diss Madonna, but it's just saying that reinvention can kind of be seen in terms of style. you put on a new wig, you put on a new this. And Madonna always did it to the point of trying to prove a point. She was trying to move her audience this way or move her audience that way or do that. So it wasn't like that there wasn't a strategies for why she was doing these reinventions. But the thing about the revelation is like revelation is something that comes from inside. Revelation is something that you look into your spirit and have a revelation. You look into the depths of your soul and try to figure out who the fuck you are, and you have an epiphany. And that is a revelation. And those are the things that Janet brought to her music when you're talking about Janet, the album, when you're talking about the Velvet Rope. And again, that's what Beyonce brings to her recordings. So I just really thought that that was that Janelle just did a wonderful job of really summing up Janet's importance. Because a lot of times, those intros at these award shows, those be bullshitty. Like, don't, whatever, don't do that. Yeah, they sold that many albums. Yeah, yeah, yeah. We know I bought me one. I have it right here in my hand. I don't need you to tell me how many goddamn albums she sold. But in Janelle's case, I thought she really did the damn thing. And, no shade to other performers. I don't be trying to shade. I don't be trying to negatively shade. I might be trying to, like constructively criticize or just push somebody a little way they may need to have been pushed, but I don't really be trying to read people. But after thinking about what Janelle said, it really made sense to me why some of the other Janet-esque performers, fantastic performers that we've seen over the years, people like Sierra and Tinashe, have never been able to be successful because they've never as successful because they've never been able to reach that moment of revelation. They've never been able to, for whatever reason, industry politics, whatever. I'm not blaming them personally. I'm just saying that they've never shown us some unique side of themselves that provides a context for all the wonderful performing, all the matrix dancing and all of that kind of stuff. There has, if you want to be an icon, there has to be more to it than just the dancing, just the wonderful performance. You have to show us your soul, and think Janet really, really took that risk to do that within the 90s, and that might ultimately um be her strongest legacy, even beyond the dancing and the performing, because what she said is that it is all right for Black women to dig into their deepest truths, make songs about that, and feel that these songs were worthy of being at the top of the goddamn pop charts, not just on some R&B bullshit. She felt that the feelings that she had within her, what it meant to her to be a Black woman, she felt that that was worthy of the best, of being at the top of everybody to listen to. And that is what Janet's legacy, I think, is the most important about most important part about Janet's legacy, just being a Black woman with the audacity to feel that her feelings, her instincts are enough and are more than enough to make it to the very top. So shout out to Janet. Let me just clap. So that's kind of were my takeaways from that. I had shit to do, y'all. I flew in from Cashville, Nashville on Saturday night when this shit was on. So as soon as Janet was off, yeah, I like Roxy music and all, but I had shit to do. I had laundry, getting ready for Monday, so that's all I saw of the show. So I apologize if something else was good. Please tell me about it. Send me a link or whatever. But that's what I got to. Um, and now let's move to the Billboard Music Awards, which is my most hated music awards show of the year, and I will tell you why. First of all, the show used to make some degree of sense when it came on at the end of the year, because Billboard always issues a year-end issue where they where they talk about the top 50 in R&B, the top 50 in this, the top selling singles, top selling. It always comes at the end of the year. It comes out like mid-December. It's thick as shit. I'd be reading it until people be taking their Christmas decorations down because it's long. But it gives you comprehensive, what music's selling, what genres are selling more than others, what labels are selling more than others. Like it used to be just the most important thing that I would get at the end of the year. But in order to get these ratings, in order to be competitive, in order to kind of not compete with other award shows, they moved it to what's month we in? May. So it's damn near the middle of the next year, and we celebrating shit that was last year. So it just gets real. It's just weird to me. And then I really hate that it's in Vegas. First of all, I hate Vegas, but it's just too fake for me. But also, I just need my award shows to be in the cities where the art is made. I need my Tonys in New York. I need my Oscars in LA. I need my hip hop awards in Atlanta. Let's keep it real. And I need my music shows in either New York or LA because that's where most of the music is made, right? New York or LA. So the Vegas thing just never really made a whole lot of sense to me. Um, but but I watch all these shows, and the show started off with that unseasoned chicken of a performance by Taylor Swift, and I just have to say, there was a moment in my life. We all have to go back and you have to claim the things you've done, or you're not gonna be able to move forward. I really enjoyed Taylor Swift's 1989 album. I liked it. I bought it. I did not just buy the regular album. I bought the deluxe album that came in a box with some damn Polaroids in it. One of my favorite songs was one of the deluxe songs, New Romantics. That's still my favorite Taylor Swift song. So I have no means like anti-Taylor, but the whole thing just began to take a turn with the reputation. I don't even like snakes. I'm not going to stare at you. Even if I'm on good Netflix, I'm not going to stare at you, stand in front of a snake for 2 hours, but I just don't care. So I was glad that she's kind of lightened up. But this song just, I don't know, it's just too generic for me. And then, and I blame y'all for some of this because, y'all be complaining about cultural appropriation all the time. Well, when I heard her singing this song, I'm like, please, I could have used a trap beat. I could use some flavor on it. Cultural appropriate me, just let me get through the goddamn song. Just do something, add a beat, do a remix, throw somebody, put the baby on it, just do something, to make it a little bit more flavorified because it's just too bland. And I know it's just a fool's game in pop culture to talk about anything originality. Nothing's original, blah, 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 blah. We all get it. However, how you going to come out on a stage with a marching band just weeks after Beyonce has dropped Homecoming? And you were going to come out with some bland old marching bands looking like they just came out of Babes in Toyland. Like they're going to do the March of the Toys in their little pastels. How are you going to come out and do something that lame coming after Beyonce's Homecoming with just reinvigorated the use of the marching band in pop music and link the marching band tradition to the African American tradition. And just weeks later, you're gonna come out with these pastel people tippy tippy tapping, pum 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 on their little drums. No, 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 no. That just was not working for me. Um, I'm gonna need you to have some stomping. I'm gonna need some baton twirling. I'm gonna need some bunny hop, drop, pop, crush your legs, turn around. They got that all wrong. What? How is it? Bunny hop, drop, pop, crush your legs, turn around. Look, I can't get the before I let go stuff, but I was trying to make a before I let go reference. But in any event, that whole performance missed the mark for me. The Taylor Swift performance. All I was doing was looking at Kane Brown's fine ass in the audience. If y'all been following the podcast, you know I love me some Kane Brown, black country singer, fine as fuck. I'm just trying to figure out how we gonna seduce him from them country ways to R&B. We need him in an R&B situation. We need him me making the type of videos where he needs to be taking his shirt off and the whole nine. We need to get in formation and work on that. So that's my project for the year. I'm trying to get Kane Brown. I know he has that song with Khalid, but I'm trying to see him do his thing. And apparently he started as an R&B singer, but that wasn't really popping off. And he loves country, so and then that became a lane that he broke into through social media. But then of course, they throw the flip on him and see he gets signed. But then some people in Nashville didn't even want to write with him because he was black. Because he was black and he's tatted up and everything like that. So Nashville really Nashville has some problems, just like the way that they didn't accept Daddy Lessons into the Grammy country category when Beyonce put that in. I mean, they really need to, and now that Old Town Road is not on the country chart, so they really need some racial reckoning to do. Perhaps we will need a new administration in order for people to get their little minds right and stop feeling like everybody's taking stuff from them in order for them to check themselves and get that. But that's what we're dealing with right now. And of course, we have to speak about this Mariah Carey legend performance. Um, I thought it was great from song selection on down, and I'm always a little worried when Mariah does these big live performances, these live medleys, because sometimes it's just like maybe the production is too much, or like they have her standing up on a pin needle 30 feet in the air and she's nervous about falling. I mean, sometimes there's always something that's just too much of a lot. Like my favorite performance by her live was the Emancipation of Mimi Grammy performance, where basically she just stood out there and sang. She flew like a bird. She did the whole thing, and it was just you saw her raw. You saw her really like getting into the performance, and I love that. But we get too few moments like that. But this one I thought was really really cool. I love seeing Rock being too cool for school in the audience, too cool to clap for his mama, and Ro getting her life on. So that was very cute. And I just love Mariah's confidence in this particular performance, which, as I said, you don't always see in her televised performances. Because in the past, she can seem, in the past, it's almost like, she's always complaining about like her ears don't work or just something's not working or something and everything goes bad on her. Sometimes I watch her live and I think I almost see her waiting for something not to go right, waiting for I don't know, a light cue not to happen or waiting for just something not to go right. But she didn't seem to have that kind of jittery attitude this time. And then the other thing about her is that a lot of times if she doesn't hit those notes quite right at the beginning of the performance, then she gets kind of nervous and tenses up for the rest of the performance. And this time, so when she didn't quite hit a few notes at the very beginning, I was kind of like, oh God, what are we going to do? Because Mariah can pull it through. I like a rough voice, Mariah. I like a Mariah taking the song down an octave or something like that and sing. I like her at every level of singing, and I really offended her when I said that one time. I said something. It probably wasn't the most politic way to say it, but I was just saying, oh, I like sometimes when you can't hit all the high notes stuff because I like that brings out that kind of raw in you. Child, she looked at me like I called her mama a name. But anyway, so I thought that was right, and I thought she, she got through those notes that weren't all that, and she ended up just pulling it through with Hero, and I thought that was really fantastic. And I thought the montage on her was nice, talking about all her credits and all her songwriting credits. I hope that Wendy Williams ass, now she's single, she might have more time to watch TV. I hope Wendy Williams' ass was watching the montage so she will never, ever, ever, ever again talk that shit about Mariah don't write her own shit because everybody know that Mariah write her own shit. So hopefully that is something that we can just put case closed. Um, Moving on to the other performance of the night, one of the other major performances of the night, basically meaning the ones that I turned up the volume on, because like I said, I was working on other stuff. Um, there was the Madonna performance. And I mean, I'm a person who's kind of had an on and off relationship with Madonna ever since I first read about her in Black Beat magazine. There was a profile of her in Black Beat magazine. Not a big profile now. She ain't got a page, but she got a little rectangle, like on the side of the page. But anyway, it was her in like 1982. And, I went out and bought the record and stuff because my friends at the record store played it for me. And I was like, oh, boop, 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 boop. I was like, oh, boop, 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 hey. Boop, boop, everybody. I was like, oh, okay, I can get with that. That sounds like me. I put my good 12 inch was like $3.99 on sale, $4.99 full price. I think it was on sale for $3.99. I was like, okay, I can dig up enough quarters, underneath the couch to get this. So, like I said, I've been a big Madonna fan, but to me, my Madonna aesthetic is the closer she sticks to contemporary black music, the more I like it. The more she starts to stray away from black influences, the less I'm into it. That is me. I'm not saying good or bad. I don't want to, walk out of this studio. It's not a studio, it's just an office. But I don't want to walk out of the office and have like a gang of white gays jump me or whatever. That I'm not saying anything. This is me. I like the more Madonna is black influence, the more I like it. The more less Madonna's black influence, the less I particularly like it. Woman sells albums all around the world. She has more fans in Qatar than I do. So what does my opinion say? I'm just saying for me. So for example, like my favorite Madonna albums, we talk in the debut with the Reggie Lucas, um, of Mtume Lucas, who did like "You Know How to Love Me" for Phyllis and did all the Stephanie Mills albums and everything like that. Yes, I like his production on the debut. I like a Virgin. Took me a little bit to get into because now was really heavy on the rock, on the guitar and that. And I was kind of like, what's all this guitar? And that was when I was into freestyle dance music and everything. So I'm waiting for the synthesizers and all this kind of stuff. But songs like Shooby Doo got me right off the bat. And that's still one of my favorite Madonna records. Like a Prayer. I love Like a Prayer. Bedtime Stories, perhaps my favorite Madonna album. And no, I did not skip Erotica. I intentionally did not mention it. It is not one of my favorite Madonna albums. I'm sorry. I know y'all love it. It's not for me. And then lastly, Hard Candy, which I love. I love her with Pharrell and Timbaland and all that kind of stuff. No, I did not skip Confessions on the Dance Floor. I understand that you all think it's the best thing that she has ever put together. It is just not for me. Except Get Together. That's not Can We Get Together? I do like that joint. Um so when I was playing the new Madonna song, the Medellin, as soon as my title, started the wheel started turning and it was loading because I listened to the title in the hi-fi because it's very nice sound quality. But sometimes you get that wheel turn around a few times before the music starts. And anyway, the first thing I heard was some 1 2 cha 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 1 2 cha. I was like, oh, no, I already know. We don't even need to get into the beat. The beat don't even need to kick in. I know that this is just not going to be a song for me. So I just accepted what it was and moved on. Then, surprisingly enough, when I watched the video, I really did like the video. I thought she looked good. I thought, how do you pronounce the guy's name? Maluma. I thought he was looking fine and thick, that wide open shirt and shit. And that is, all my friends will tell you that is not my type. I like a little twink. Um, but I was looking, hey, fuck, I might need to man up for this motherfucker because he was looking like a hunk of a man. So I was enjoying the whole thing. Like I never played the song more than once. I'm not even sure if I played it once, to be honest with you, all the way through. But I watched the video a couple of times because I thought it was really, I thought it was nice. And then when she sucked on his big ass toe, looking like it's the head of his dick, I was like, big old freak, big body, bigger booty, big old treat. I was like, go ahead, Madonna. But so that really, I'm messing up all my little song lyrics this year. I mean, this year. I told y'all I was tired. Being black is exhausting. But I saw somebody write that on Twitter a couple of days ago that there is actually a syndrome for just being black and tired, for being tired of having to, you know, always explain stuff to people and just always be fighting for shit that you think it should be obvious. That there's actual syndrome, so that's nice. Um, once my health insurance kicks back in, maybe I'll go get some treatment for it. But anyway, I was kind of hyped for the Madonna performance, especially after I found out she spent $5 million of her own coin on the performance. I was like, what is a $5 million TV performance? Not even a tour. You're gonna do this shit once and $5 million gone? But baby, after watching that shit, she would have been better spending that money to feed some more kids in Malawi. Cause I just was like, watching it, I don't mind you using holograms and stuff, but very quickly in the song, I want to know who the fuck is singing. You know what I mean? I don't want to be looking at a hologram for 5 minutes and then it's not even the real person. That gets on my nerves. But then, she has all these holograms. Near one of the holograms can dance really well. All these damn holograms, and then she makes them disappear. And I'm like, so that's the special effects? That's the big thing? Because that's just the Thanos. That's the Thanos. Everybody that's been to a multiplex, the week before, everybody who saw Avengers, not the Endgame, Infinity War, done seen the Thanos. So you're gonna spend $5 million just to show us the Thanos? Child, I thought that was like, I don't know. And see, the thing about it is like, okay, so I'm gonna say, to me, doing something, showing us an effect that we have been seeing, that you can see all over this country, whether you live in a small town, because we have seen that effect. That shows me that there's some degree of being out of touch. And I don't put this toward age at all. My ass is too old to be ageist. So I'm trying to age anybody at all. But what I am saying is that it shows that the people around her, the people that are influencing her, they at least need to go to the movies once every 18 months or something, because they at least need to be able to say to her, oh, you want to kind of just flutter away like that? Well, kind of that's all that happens in the Avengers, right? You know what I mean? Somebody needed to have said that to her and saved her a good $5 million, because it just wasn't it. It's played out. And so the other thing about just the multiple images, though, and this kind of goes back to the Taylor Swift thing, is that Beyonce pretty much shut down the multiple image thing at the Billboard Awards when she did the Run the World. And that actually was it. Like, you really did know which Beyonce was dancing sometimes, and all them Beyoncés could dance. So it was really a kind of magical effect. And if you watch the Life is But a Dream documentary, you saw all that went into that. So that was really something. But this just seemed, like I said, I don't know. Like I said, I had just seen Avengers, so I wasn't trying. I didn't need nobody else. We had been to a whole thing trying to not get people disappearing, so I just didn't need to see people disappearing again. It was triggering me, so that just was not. Sorry about that, y'all. That just was not the answer for me. Um, so I hope she kept them receipts and could get some of that 5 million back. Um, so in closing, and kind of keeping on the Beyonce tip, did y'all know? I knew she released Lemonade to all the streaming platforms and everything, but I had been had Lemonade because I'm a Tidal subscriber. Like I said, I support Black businesses. I had been on Tidal. I did not know that there were additional songs on the Lemonade re-release. So somebody had to tell me that there was that's the demo version of Sorry was on the Lemonade re-release, and I was just blown away. It's like it's a whole different song. Some of the same lyrics, but they're new music. It's like this ambient type of sound, and and their new vocals. She sings it in a different way. Their new lyrics, and I just love it. Like, it really puts me in the mind of, literally Beyonce laying in bed. It's getting late. She wondering when Jay Ass is gonna come in the house, and these are the thoughts that are running through her mind. And I thought it was just so intimate and powerful. So definitely, whatever you do in between, I know you're probably still trying to get your Before I Let Go challenge together with you and your friends and everything like that. I know it takes time. I got the rhyme pattern all wrong earlier, so I know the shit takes practice. But if you could take yourself this would be perfectly. Like, y'all dance out, y'all sweaty. You need to take you a little 5 minute break. Play the Sorry demo because it's slow, it's ambient, it's a good cool down record, and it's really fantastic, and it really slipped in without much notice. So that's pretty much it for me this week. I hope I didn't bring y'all down. That was not my intention at all. My intention really was just to let y'all know to just keep going. That we all get in these spots where it might not seem like things are going the way we want them to, and we have to keep going. It happens to me. It happens to all of us. Um, and so I just thought somebody might need to hear this today. Maybe it's you. Maybe it's not. But before I let you go, I wanted to let you guys know about something. Oh, child, this is here. I'm supposed to be stop saying you guys. Ugh. Okay, before I go, I wanted to let y'all know, especially y'all writers out there and folks who might be writers. I want to let you know about my new site called bookcoachcraig.com. Yeah, all my websites have simple ass titles, but it's bookcoachcraig.com. And I offer services on there to take you all the way from a book idea Maybe you don't know if it's a book idea, maybe you just have an inkling of it or something like that. So I take you all the way from the book idea all the way through publication. I have different packages of working with you wherever you are. And I'm bringing this up specifically because I really want to work with Black folk because I know that there are so few Black people in the field in doing that. And I have had so many friends, so many Black friends with bad experiences working with developmental editors or this and that, people that just don't have the cultural awareness, trying to change every ain't, trying to change every nigga, trying to change every this and that. And so, I wanted to at least make it known that I'm in a space that I definitely want to help Black writers become authors because we definitely need more authors. We need more people out here proving that there's an audience for our shit. And if we don't tell our stories, who the fuck will? So please spread that around for me. As usual, I thank you so much for listening. It means a lot for me. It means a lot to me, and it means a lot for me too. For me, in terms of people recognizing me as a podcaster in these streets, if you would write a brief review, if you would, give me little stars, not little stars. Go ahead and give me the 5. Don't be stingy. Give me the little stars, and please share it with somebody that you think might like it, might be able to tolerate me for a good little minute. And that's about it. So, as we do at this time, I just wanted to thank y'all. I wanted y'all to be cool. I wanted y'all to be kind. I wanted y'all to be creative as we go into this next week. And as always, as my fave says,
Be your damn self.
all right, y'all. I love y'all. Talk to you next week. Bye.